London, known only for tea, Harry Potter, driving on the wrong side of the road, drinking at 18, pubs, and British accents. Well, we also say some words differently. We say color, you say color. We say aluminum, you say aluminium. Herbs and herbs, we say and you say. But I choose to look beyond these differences and would like to break the barrier and accept that we are all the same by traveling to London. Except for that aluminium thing, that's weird. We start our perilous journey by converting our 10,000 American dollars donated generously by my parents to 7,058.66 English pounds. We then buy our 2 plane tickets for my friend and I. It takes out 2,896.8 pounds. After 7.5 hours of crying babies and kids kicking the back of my chair, we make it to London. We check into our hotel for a nightly rate of 323.77 pounds, plus 10 pounds for the bellboy. We try to sleep off the jet lag and get up early the next morning. Our first stop in London is the British Museum, which is rated the #1 thing to do in London. Plus it's free. We buy our weekly bus passes for 35.52 pounds, which will account for most of our traveling costs. After spending a few hours looking at random paintings and sculptures and pretending to read the plaques and know what they're talking about, we head out. Our next stop is Hyde Park, a public park in London, and we enjoy a picnic costing under $40 to meet our 80 pounds for 2 meals a day budget. With us being in England, the weather is horrible as always. But we toughed it out and stayed until it gets dark. Once it's dark and the lights of the city are illuminated, we head towards the London Eye. We get our 72 pounds tickets for the exclusive Champagne Express pass, and when we reach the top of the Ferris wheel, my friend and I enjoy our first alcoholic drink. Once we get drunk enough to feel buzzed but not to get a hangover, we retire to bed. The next morning we sleep in, but luckily we get blessed with half-decent weather, so we decide to go to the London Zoo for 60 pounds. After the zoo we head to the London Dungeon, which, believe it or not, is not where London holds all of its torture victims, but actually an interactive experience of all of London's spooky history. I know, I thought it would be dumb too, but it turns out it's not that bad, and we tip our guide and pay for our tickets for a total of 166.06 pounds. By now it's dark, so we Uber to a pub to get drunk. Responsibly, of course. Nah, I'm just kidding. We get drunk as Phil. We get as drunk as Phil. After dumping 60 pounds on drinks, I'm thoroughly drunk. So in my haze of beer, I start hitting on the bartender and give her a 50-pound tip. But after trying my 15th pickup line, I puke and pass out. I wake up in a hotel, so I guess my friend called an Uber. After staying in the hotel until 1 to get over the hangover, I don't know what it's like to get drunk. Once we get better, we head to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant.
Bland.
I'll go with mac tasted.
Gloopy. Glue.
Yeah.
Look at it, it's congealed. It's just like a rubber puck.
I feel like I'm eating donkey's
Yes, that Gordon Ramsay. To enjoy a 120-pound meal. When enjoying our 4-course meal, I ordered smoked mackerel, Cornish cod fillet, custard tart, and a word I cannot pronounce. The reason I ordered those items is because I've never heard of any of their names before, I couldn't pronounce one of them, and they all sounded very British. Speaking of being very British, that night we head to the Houses of Parliament to get a guided tour of the political centre of London. How exciting. We get a 90-minute tour of the Parliament building, which is beautiful, but our guide was not that good, so it was pretty dull. So out of spite, we didn't tip him, and only paid the 60-pound fee for the tickets. Then my friend and I take a bus trip to Oxford University. It's not that I'm planning on going to Oxford, it's just that the school's really pretty and, wishful thinking. My friend and I get a tour of the campus and we talk among some of the college kids, and then we head back to the hotel. The next morning we get up early to go to the London Science Museum. After paying the 35-pound fee, we get in and learn all kinds of things, from medicine and health to modern-age space exploration technologies. We also learn that even though we're 18, we are still very childish. After spending far too much time in the Science Museum, we head to Tate Modern, which is a modern art museum. Look, I didn't want to go either, but my friend wanted to, and it's free. Plus, we get to make fun of modern art, and who doesn't want to do that? So after a good amount of time staring at paintings and trying to figure out the meaning of life, we head out and grab dinner. After dinner, we head to a wine tasting. Yes, a wine tasting, because we're super classy. And because we're so classy, we spend a modest £64 and drink many fine wines, including ones from New Zealand and South America. So after a night of feeling way too old and classy for our own good, we head back to the hotel for the last night. We sleep in because we don't have anything planned for today. But while we were packing, I remembered that I should probably go buy something for my parents. You know, considering the fact that they gave me $10,000 to go anywhere I wanted with a friend. So I head to the tea shop, pick them up a beautiful teapot. Well, a 31.75 pound pretty teapot. After spending the day packing, it's time to head home. But on the way to the airport, we get stopped by the cops because we forgot to pay sales tax on anything we bought. So we give the officer 1,176.44 pounds to cover all the tax we never paid for. So now we get on the plane and head home.
It's just me, myself, and I. Solo ride until I die. 'Cause I got me for life.
By the way, if I offended anyone during this film, please send your complaint letters to medlockm@ltisdschools.org.